Welcome, my kitties.
Put spoons in your ears.
To the Halloween edition of Audio Theory Radio.
It's so spooky.
It's so spooky.
I'm scared.
It's so spooky.
Pirate ghosts.
Pirate ghosts.
Pirate ghosts.
So on with me today in this October month is
Totally October.
fucking Jason Josh, Michael Myers Zack, and Dracula Travis, Chucky Travis.
Well,
Or we can say Josh Voorhees, Joshua Voorhees, and Zach Myers, and Travis Kruger. There we go.
or Travis face.
Travis what?
Travis face.
Yeah. Travis face. That's hilarious. Oh my god. And alright. This is our first episode of the Halloween themed episodes of Audio Theory Radio. And I'm going to tell you people right
Now,
now.
fog machine going here.
Yeah.
They can totally see it.
They'll be able to hear it. All you got to do is.
It's very foggy in here.
Oh, I think Travis farted.
Oh
Look.
man, my bad. Fucking beans, dude. Pepperoni.
God damn it.
You guys.
Oh my god. And so, I'm going to tell you right
That
now.
should be hitting DVD in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Good old Ninja Turtles. Okay. I'm going to tell you people right now, my favorite month of the year is October, and my favorite holiday, as cliched as it is Halloween. And it's not because of just ghostly shit, it's mostly because I love the moment, especially down here in the South when it is hotter than a dead dog's ass for fucking 9 months out of the year. When October starts hitting, every year, I even mention it to everybody, every year I feel the change. I feel the change in the wind. I can feel the change
You
in...
can hear it.
Yeah, I can hear it. Every
Taste it.
cars sound different. The wind, when it's blowing through the trees, that sounds different.
Music sounds different.
The air smells different. There's a vibe in the air when fall is finally here that it tells me Halloween is on its way. I mean,
two of the greatest men in the world birthdays in October.
who's that?
October 23rd, Weird Al Yankovic.
Yes, and that's yours too, ain't it?
And me.
All right, so you're part of the two of the greatest people in the world. You're badass, dude. You're bad. I wish my fucking birthday was in October, man. I got February.
Oh, he's got a Valentine.
You have 2 days after Valentine's.
Yeah, I am 2 days after Valentine's
I wonder
Day.
what that means.
Oh yeah, pussy 2 days. On Valentine's Day and my birthday.
This is the greatest month in the world.
I'm sure Stoltz is going to love you saying that. Oh, it's your birthday. I guess I got to give you some. Throw the old dog a bone.
Oh yeah, and like I said, even the way the sun and the shadows look at the different times of days is different because obviously the sun's in a different position, and with the trees being mostly devoid of their leaves, the shadows on the roads look different. To me, just the month of October is the best month of the year.
And it already feels great now.
Yeah, it feels really good now.
Yeah, it feels great. We don't even need the air conditioning on right now, dude.
Edit here. This is where we say, wow, that's going to suck if it's hot as fuck and we're wrong.
Yeah.
You're going to have to go back and re-edit it to that. So you should we should film a clip saying, "Man, it's hot as balls still."
Yeah.
It's wrong. Just go back and put it back in.
Here's the thing, man. It's October now, and it's hot as shit.
What the hell's wrong?
And we're in fucking October now. It should be like getting cold.
And there you go. So now you got fix. You can fix it either way. So
And another thing I love is I love seeing people's Halloween decorations out. I love seeing the...
I love going downtown and seeing all the other people dressed up.
Yeah, man. And every year in October we have the fucking zombie walk, which is really cool. And downtown, all the bars and shit do special Halloween October things.
And all the stores already have their Christmas decorations out.
Seriously.
That's the greatest part.
And then all of November is nothing but fucking Christmas shit.
Mm-hmm.
For 2 months, you have to listen to Christmas radio.
See, we get fucking candy in October, we get turkey in November, and we get presents in December.
Yeah, so really...
That's the last quarter of the year, and it's the greatest quarter of it all.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part of the year.
Yeah.
So my birthday's in December too.
Yeah, Zach
he gets
is
presents and presents.
Yeah, Zach is a good 8 days before Christmas Eve.
Yes.
Far enough away where you get presents 2 times, but not close enough to your parents to say, "Screw you, you're only getting 1 set of presents."
No, they wouldn't even say it if I was born on Christmas or not, because they're like, "Fuck it, everyone else gets a birthday too." Shit.
Yeah, man, Zach.
That's one thing your parents are really good about. Then most parents are like, "Nah, you get 1 set."
Yeah,
This is one good thing they're good about.
There's a lot of truth behind that.
Your parents got a lot of redeeming factors. Like your dad's an amazing bass player.
Yeah,
He's awesome.
Yeah,
And your mom is your mom.
Yeah,
Edit.
Yeah.
Well, her craziness is cool sometimes.
Yeah, we love her craziness to an extent.
She was very spastastic.
Yeah.
Well, still is.
One minute she's cool, next minute you don't even want to be around that shit.
0 to bitchy in 2.1 seconds.
Yeah. Seriously. And so, this is the beginning of a 5-part Halloween extravaganza on Audio Theory Radio. And pretty much it's going to be 5 retrospectives. I know like the last several episodes have been retrospectives, but I don't know, retrospectives are fun to me. It's easier to do a retrospective than be like, hey, let's talk about concept albums.
Because hindsight's always easier.
Yeah. So...
Let's talk about music video games.
Well, yeah. It's so easier to just do a retrospective. Be like, oh...
Well, it wasn't hard. There's not much to choose from in that category.
Yeah, but that was a good episode to me.
It was awesome.
Yeah, there was a lot of talking.
But then, okay, so today's episode, if you haven't guessed by the title, it is the Cradle of Filth Retrospective.
We've been listening to you guys for like 20 goddamn minutes, and you finally say what we're talking about on here.
Well, it's probably in the title when you look on there. So
Well, they see that, but we've been sitting here talking for like...
When are you going to talk about Cradle of Filth?
Yeah, the guy listening
Could be
to
chat
us.
roulette. We might just whip our dicks out and show it to y'all. Trick or treat.
That would be one random
Trick-or-treat.
podcast if you ever edit just a little dick in there.
This is a black screen and like a quick
One
flash.
frame, yeah, one
Just
frame
one
of a
frame
dick.
of a dick.
Like in Fight Club.
Yeah, dude.
One frame of a cock.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Whose dicks are those?
I've thought about doing like a subliminal messaging in the monster episodes, like have one frame of it saying, "You love this show, subscribe, you are a fan."
Oh, wait a minute. Since you're going to cut all those parts out, you should do a part where you say, you can talk and be like, get close, we're going to play you something. And then you fucking do that little the scream thing.
Yeah,
the
screamer
screamer
videos.
video.
Those
That would be great for Halloween.
yeah,
To
dude.
scare the shit out of people.
Hell yeah.
You should add that in. That'd be pretty fucking funny.
You should also have like subliminal things where people have to write shit down.
Blowjob.
In like little fake ass codes.
Yeah, dude.
Figure it out and be like, hooray!
We'll mail you a
wasted your
decoder.
time."
We can mail you a decoder ring.
We'll have one person.
Okay, so like I said, this is a
He's playing music without music. He's playing acoustic piano. I wonder what that's from. Poltergeist, perhaps?
yeah. So this is the This is the... Fuck?
Okay, that just went from creepy to just weird.
Yeah, so this is the Cradle of Filth Retrospective, and I'm a big Cradle of Filth fan. What about you, Zach?
Eh.
Yeah. What about you, Josh? Josh is wearing his...
the infamous Vestal masturbation shirt.
Yeah, he's got a naked nun fucking fingering herself on his shirt.
And on the back says, Jesus is a cunt.
Jesus is a cunt. I love that fucking shirt, dude. I love that fucking shirt. But, Cradle of Filth, alright, I guess let's go around the circle and talk about...
Our feelings.
Yes. Here's the talking pillow.
It's wrinkly and has hairs. It's attached to my dick.
Alright, so... When was the first time you heard Cradle of Filth, Josh?
Let me think. Hold on. I can tell you. Let me see. It was it 96? I don't know if you have it. It was shit. Not 100% sure which one it was. I know Midian was one of the first ones I heard. Wow, yours is 2012. That's not when
Yeah,
Midian
it's a
came.
re-release.
As a re-release. I think it might have been...
Yeah, Midian was 2000.
I think it might have been 98 or 99 with the first ones when they had Bittersweet to Succubi, or no, was it? What was it? I'll tell you one second. Yeah, Dusk and Her Embrace, 96.
There you go. So you're an early fucking up and comer on that shit. The first time I ever heard Cradle was during the Cutting Edge on Rock 103 back when Midian was out. But I don't remember nothing about it except for Jessica Wilde being like, up next we have Cradle of Filth. And, but then, right after I met you, Josh, you remember April's sister, Cece?
Yeah, because we were doing all the Napster stuff.
Yeah. She downloaded a bunch of fucking stuff off of Cruelty and the Beast, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And she's like, it's Cradle of Filth, man. And I was like, you gotta burn me that shit. And she burned it for me, and then I found Cruelty and the Beast at that old CD store. And I've loved them ever since, really. But, I mean, shit.
Zach's more likely probably be whenever we listen to it.
Yeah, pretty much. When did you first hear Cradle, Zach?
Remember?
When you got the album.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. It's a unique taste. It's dark gothic metal. It's
Yeah, and what
I will say that was like the first time I had heard that kind of drumming.
Yeah.
the rapid.
Yeah, and as a drummer, I was like, this is unlistenable. That was my first impression. And then I just started listening to it more because you had it, and I was kind of forced to listen to it. Because we had our turns on the Xbox to play our music.
Yeah.
And I ended up kind of liking the shit. And I remember there was one of their albums that came out in like 04 or 05. Or maybe 06, whatever. I can't remember, Nymphetamine or some shit.
Yeah, either Nymphetamine or Thornography.
Nymphetamine came out in 2004, 2006 Thornography came out.
Okay, I think it was Thornography. One of those, I remember you telling me that it was like better than their old, or was about just as good as their old shit, because they got like the old B-rated symphony back or some shit.
Yeah.
That'd be Nymphetamine. Then,
Yeah, that was Nymphetamine.
Thornography didn't have symphonic in it. It was just black metal.
Yeah, and really, technically, I don't know, man, because, like, here's the thing about Cradle of Filth is, essentially, they are a black metal band. They definitely started off as a black metal band, but nowadays, you really can't call them black metal.
Extreme metal.
Exactly.
That's what it's called now, is extreme
Yeah,
metal.
and I'd rather call them black metal because that sounds cooler than extreme metal.
Yeah, because they do a lot of dark, satanic stuff. So it's more black.
But what I really like about them is if you really pay attention, they're not really that satanic. Yeah, satanic undertones are there.
It's mythology. That's what it is.
There's mythology, but then there's a lot of cool gothic romance.
But then you have a shirt that says Jesus is a gun.
Well,
That's just a shock shirt, you know?
yeah, I mean, they got in trouble for wearing I Love Satan shirts to the Vatican.
Yeah, it's cool.
So they did it it's for shock value. Because there's another shirt I want to get. It shows a demon fucking an angel. It's pretty awesome.
Sweet.
I think it's from
That, son, is how Lucifer was born. He is the most prettiest angel of them all, but he is the most evil devil.
Oh, that's what Lucifer means. It means morning star.
And so, I guess let's get into the retrospective here. But also, Cradle of Filth, there are two good... Check this out, alright? Black metal elitists hate Cradle of Filth.
Yeah, because they prefer like Demi Borgir.
Yeah, they prefer stuff like
Demon
Mayhem, Bathory, or fucking, Burzum, and I kind of prefer those guys too, but I love Cradle of Filth because they are a little more easier to listen to.
They seem like they have a humor with it.
Yeah, there's a slight bit of humor
Interviews with
to
that
it.
guy, that dude's hilarious.
Yeah.
I can't take that dude serious.
Yeah,
all
dude.
That. I will call it again.
And their
Ghost Paint.
videos are fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
Ghost Paint.
Their videos are amazing. I love their music videos.
And so their very first album, 1994's, because here, all right, back to what I was saying is, heavy black metal elitists hate Cradle of Filth because Cradle of Filth obviously brought black metal to a more commercial audience.
It was more mainstream.
Yeah, exactly. And
They're like the Green
they
Day of
sold
Black
out.
yeah, they're the Green Day of black metal.
They sold out. They sell out concerts. Is what they sell out.
Yeah, they're the fucking Green Day of black metal. I love that.
That's very good.
That was hilarious.
Nice.
Fuck yeah, fist bump.
Fist bumps.
That shit was
That was
great.
good, man.
That was great, dude.
Oh yeah, we sell out every fucking night.
And so, but me, I love the real dark black metal guys, but like I said, I like Cradle because they're a great fucking Halloween band, especially during October. I'll fucking crank them up, and it just fits the atmosphere. And that's another cool thing about Cradle is their atmosphere is very spooky and very dark. And just, I don't know, nobody sounds like them, and other bands kind of try, but they sort of come off sounding like a copycat. And so the first Cradle of Filth album is 1994's The Principle of Evil Made Flesh. And, or the way he says it on the live album is The Principle of Evil Made Flesh. Now, I've never heard this album. This is one of the only ones that I don't have.
It's good. You'd like it. I would play it for you if I had internet access. But
Yeah, I need to fucking find it because all their old shit was re-released on the N Records.
yeah, that's,
You can, I wonder, because the way the album after this sounds, it really makes me want to hear Principle of Evil because I love the next one. Like, what are your thoughts on Principle of Evil, Josh?
You have a chord right there.
it's
I'll be down. I'll be down. Give me that thing. I'll be fucking damned.
well, it's very. This one is one you want to talk about how they did the black dark mythology, dark romance.
Yeah.
That's what this one really is. It's very. I think this one was very symphonic. If I remember correctly, I'm not 100% sure. I haven't heard that one in a while, but I think this one because they have this song. She whispers my name. The forest whispers my name. And like one final graven kiss, crescendo of passion bleeding. It's one of their romance ones. In secret love we drown.
Like, does it have? Is it very atmospheric, like Prince, like
Think
Dusk and Her Embrace?
I think so, because the first two albums were very... Because the way it went was because it came out in the later part of the 90s, and most of it was this sort of...
Well, 94.
It was mainly... It really would have been considered black metal, just pure black metal, because it was just the atmosphere and the music. And then when they decided they wanted to go mainstream, that's when they started becoming that more symphonic, that big band style sound. Come on, internet. Nope. Nope. Still not working. Oh, it's definitely. Oh, you guys.
Yeah,
poor guys.
I don't know why it's acting like that. Because normally our internet's pretty damn good.
Yeah, it usually is.
It was running fine this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there ain't much I can say about that album except for I need to damn get it.
Yeah, it's worth a get.
But next is, to me, a Cradle of Filth classic. Which is Dusk and Her Embrace. Like, this to me is like the ultimate Cradle of Filth album, because it has everything awesome about them, like the Humana-inspired To Nightmare. This shit sounds like some Full Moon production movies.
Yeah. And literally, the title track song is amazing too. Dusk and Her Embrace is an amazing song.
But Dusk...
on fucking Wikipedia it says they're extreme metal.
Yeah, it's like what kind of shit is that?
Yeah, it's what it's considered now, because they no longer fit any kind of genre.
Yeah.
Especially with that last album they just came out with.
They evolved from black metal.
Yeah, pretty much.
They started black metal and
goth metal.
Okay, yeah, gothic metal.
Symphonic black
Which
metal.
it was, man. We were the Hot Topic goth kids who listened to Cradle of Filth.
Gothic literature, poetry.
Zach was the goth kid who listened to punk rock.
Yeah, I mean,
he was
like,
the punk rock goth.
I was the punk rock goth.
That was awesome.
Yeah, dude.
Nothing
And
wrong with that.
this album, I'm not going to talk about the band members except for Danny Filth and Sarah Jezebel Diva, because
that's the only two ever.
Yeah.
That's the only two you hear.
Yeah.
I mean, the musicians are great. They're great musicians. They can play some shit out of them drums and guitar.
yeah, but they always fucking lose them.
Yeah.
Every album, just about, it's a new fucking bassist, drummer. What's his name? Paul Adler stayed on guitar for many years, but then he just left again. I think that's his name, Paul Adler.
All I've ever known was Jezebel and Danny. That's it.
Yeah, because this one has fucking Robin Graves, and yeah, so Paul Adler's not on this one, okay. But Adler comes back later on, and he stays as their prominent guitarist until here recently. And then Sarah Jezebel Diva left also after Godspeed and the Devil's Thunder, so that kind of sucks, because I love the way she sings on here, man. But this album has some of the most amazing dark atmosphere.
So has she been singing with him since?
Yeah, since at least this one. I don't know. Is she on that first album, Principle of Evil?
I have it for you. They've had a lot of band members. They don't even list some of them. From '96, she started Dusk and Her Embrace.
Okay. Now, when I bought this album, I found it at Circuit City back in 2007, because I had always been slow at buying Cradle of Filth albums. I had Damnation in a Day, Cruelty and the Beast back when they were still fairly new, and I bought Damnation in a Day when it came out, and Amphetamine when it came out, Thornography when it came out, and Godspeed when it came out. But as far as anything before Cruelty, which is just this, I finally found it at Circuit City, and I was like, yeah, let me pick this up.
You do know this is a concept album, right?
Yeah.
Vampirism.
Yeah, vampires and shit.
It is considered a true concept album. That's what the entire lyrics are all about.
And, that's what's cool. Cradle of Filth makes some of the coolest concept albums, and we'll get into that when we get there.
The greatest one is their one in 2000.
I'd have to say Midian and Godspeed.
Concept album
Midian
ever.
and Godspeed are my favorites as far as the concept albums, and probably right behind that Cruelty and the Beast, because you can't go wrong.
Album.
You can't go wrong with Elizabeth Bathory, bathing in the blood of virgins. And so check out some of this atmosphere. Like, that's so Halloween, dude.
So this is the shit we would have played when we worked at
Hayride.
Hayride, if we had speakers and shit.
See, I like it better when they sound like this instead of be straight up fast and heavy. Because, like, there's a lot more atmosphere, and it just fits the gothicness. But, man, I love his screaming, his fucking loud-ass banshee wail. Like, it sounds like a banshee flying over a fucking, like, 15th century town or something, you know? And then we have, a gothic romance. Like, I keep picturing, like, Puppet Master 5.
Yeah, those are great movies. I love
Did you get their
those.
compilation disc?
Which one? This one right here?
Midnight in the Labyrinth?
Midnight in the Labyrinth, I want so fucking bad because it's just a fake orchestra album. It's basically a bunch of their old songs done with fucking keyboard orchestras and shit. And, like, I want to hear that so bad. And, but yeah, I love Dusk and Her Embrace. Like, it's one of, to me...
Sarah Jezebel Diva came back for that.
Yeah, she came back to do that album, and, like, that was... She originally didn't want to, but then she thought about it, and she was like, you know what, I'll go back in the studio with them one more time. And so I'm glad she did that, man, because she was a big part of a lot of those songs from that era that they redo on there. And so I'm glad she did that because she has a cool fucking voice. But yeah, dude, like, to me, this is probably the best they've ever sounded to me. And, you know, I like the way they sound on all their other albums, but, I don't know, there's something about the atmosphere and even the pictures in here with the graveyards and shit.
That one was less metal and more orchestra.
Yeah, this album is definitely all about the atmosphere, a lot more slower tracks, more gothic romance, and that fits the vampire theme. And then I love this picture where they're all taking a bite out of this chick fucking at the fucking fruit table. It's almost like the Last Supper, man. Like, they're all on one side of the fucking table. And maybe she's Jesus, you know, but, you know, I don't know. Maybe they're all fucking Judas and she's Jesus. Who the fuck knows? Eat my flesh, for it is my blood, or whatever the fuck.
Order the bread and just eat me.
Oh, yeah.
She has 2 or 3 solo albums.
Yeah, and she also sings on a couple Therion albums. One of them I have. But, okay, so after Dusk and Her Embrace, we have another fantastic fucking classic Cradle of Filth album.
Cruelty and the Beast.
Cruelty and the Beast. I fucking love Cruelty and the Beast. And wasn't it on my...
that was the first one you got.
Yeah, it was the first one I ever heard. And isn't it one that I picked for my favorite albums of the 90s on the podcast?
Maybe.
But Cruelty and the Beast is awesome, dude, because...
You got the special edition. It's got a different cover.
Yeah.
See, that's the original cover.
Mm-hmm. Mine, she's more bathing on the side, and...
Yeah.
The other one, she's sitting
Yours
on her
has
ass.
a second disc. Yeah, the bonus CD.
With a sweet-ass cover of Hallowed Be Thy Name. But this one, to me, kind of takes everything good about Dusk and Her Embrace and kind of just metals it up. Like, there's not as much slow stuff. There's more blast beats. But what's really cool is if this shit will load... Because doesn't the lady who plays Countess Bathory in the Countess Dracula Hammer movie come and do the voice of Elizabeth Bathory on this album?
I don't know. Never seen it.
Yeah, this shit needs to hurry up and load. Here we go.
Haven't used regular mobile service.
Yeah, Ingrid Pitt. Ingrid Pitt is in character as Bathory, a role she first played in the Hammer film Countess Dracula. So, in a way, Cruelty and the Beast is like in canon with Hammer film's Countess Dracula. So in some kind of weird way, this is either a prequel or a sequel or a midquel. Who the fuck knows? But it starts off great. Like, you gotta fucking love this. Like, I love that shit.
There's also a Celtic Crossroad.
Yeah, I need to find those, man. And then you have the song Once Upon Atrocity, which is the beginning orchestral bit. Like, to me, all their orchestral stuff is always good to me. It really sets the mood for the album. And it's just fucking rad, dude. It is fucking rad.
It's rad.
It's radical. It's spooky. It's Halloween.
It's spectacular.
But yeah, give me some thoughts on Cruelty and the Beast there, Josh.
Was it Wargasm? My favorite song. I love Bloodsport and Wargasm. Yeah, I like this one because it's the previous album being that softer, more atmospheric one. This one started becoming more. I think this is when they started becoming more mainstream. They decided to go more heavy black metal and less atmospheric.
Yeah, because the atmosphere is definitely there, but it takes a back seat.
Yeah, it's in the background as opposed to the foreground, where the previous one where it would be nothing but playing atmosphere, and then they'll play a little guitar and you hear them singing, and then back to atmosphere. This one is the other way around.
Yeah, because this one, like, pretty much every song just starts off fucking giving you whiplash. Like, Cruelty brought the orchids. I love this.
We were listening to the cool double kick before Slipknot started doing that crap.
Yeah.
See, when you hear this, you just think of a horse, like a battlefield, and you see the
man,
horses charging through the battlefield.
And it's like, you know...
It's kind of like that Viking metal without the Viking sound.
Yeah, it's like, alright, you get the feeling that it's like demons
and
fighting...
angels, yeah. Like the eternal battle between heaven and hell.
Yeah, dude, or like, you could play this stuff on the ending, or the third act of Army of Darkness. And it will match.
I listen to Cradle of Filth.
Perfect.
I played Diablo 3 a lot, and this is what I listen to. I listen to Cradle of Filth because what goes with playing Diablo?
Yeah, dude.
Cradle of Filth.
Hell yeah.
Angels versus demons.
Yeah, man.
So I have to play by myself because people don't want to hear it blaring through the speakers.
But do you remember any Cruelty and the Beast, Zach?
I remember most of that shit you played just a little bit ago.
Yeah, like, let me see. Portrait of a Dead Countess is really great.
Yeah, if you don't listen to it a lot, it'll all kind of blend and sound the same.
Yeah, I mean, really it does. Especially in the later albums, they do kind of start sounding the same. Like, this is a great orchestral bit. Like, that shit's just beautiful. Like, what's really cool, man, is they do that all on keyboards, and you can tell that it's keyboards, but it sounds as good as real fucking orchestras to me.
That's the difference between a Casio and a Yamaha.
Yeah, definitely.
A real MIDI player and a Casio 8-bit player. But hey, don't hate on the Casio. I had my Casio back in the day. I love that shit. I miss having a Casio.
What the fuck is it keep bringing that up for?
It's probably like mine if you hold the button out. Like, we're sorry, we cannot find that for you. And my phone did the same thing. If I hold the home button too long.
And then...
Never mind, I don't want to do it now.
Like, this album, dude, I remember when I first bought it, I had to go to our grandparents' house with Mom. And that's when I picked up Damnation and a Day. But I remember blaring this in Nanny and Pawpaw's kitchen.
Oh my gosh.
And fucking being like, you know, I thought it was like, yeah, this is gonna scare Nanny and Pawpaw because they're all they're all Pentecostal and this is devil shit.
You can't even hear the lyrics.
Yeah, they didn't even give a shit. I was just like, okay.
I mean, unless you can really hear it well, you can't even tell what the lyrics are saying.
Yeah, it's just.
I mean. The Pentecostals do the same thing. They just talking in tongues.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry.
Yeah. So Nanny and Papa thought I was listening to like some Christian fucking Pentecostal music.
Christian metal.
Yeah. Oh, they're speaking in tongues, aren't they, Travis? Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Yeah, he just said gilded cunt. Yeah.
My grandmother might not even know what a cunt means.
Probably.
Some people have no clue.
Probably sure.
Let's bring that word back, cunt.
Cunt in her days.
Yeah.
Twat.
Back in her day, it was beaver biscuit.
Beaver biscuit?
Beaver biscuit?
Is that like a limp biscuit?
The opposite.
Beaver cake.
Beaver cake, yeah.
Ooh, that sounds kind of dirty.
Yeah, you want some beaver cake, Travis?
It's all buttery.
But you gotta put your gravy on that.
Buttery beaver cake. I like that.
White or
buttery
brown
beaver cake.
White or brown gravy. Some prefer the brown.
Oh, yes.
Pour your gravy on my biscuit.
Biscuit. Gravy, my butter, my biscuit, baby.
Oh, yes. Malted buttermilk pancakes all day long.
Scramble my eggs.
Oh, God.
You're gonna need some ranch when I touch your salad.
Hold the tomatoes.
Toss that salad.
Come on, phone. Yeah, so the next album...
My favorite. Doom-de-doo.
The next
What did that be?
album is...
Midian.
Another Cradle of Filth classic.
They're probably one of the first greatest
This one...
concept albums.
Yeah, as
The
far as
vampirism
like,
was kind of subtle, unless you just know it's like a romantic one. But this one is straight up just Cthulhu oriented all the way through.
Yeah, this one is about the Midianites from the Bible, and that's what I like. Is I like it when they get biblical and fucking make that shit dark, because you know the Bible is some pretty dark shit in there, man. I'm waiting for the day that somebody does like we need a badass fucking like black metal rock opera of the fucking book of Exodus. Or even Jesus' life, man.
All they do is just make music videos for every one of these songs, and you got it right there.
Fucking, you know, we need a black metal Moses, a black metal Jesus.
Well, we got the life of Brian already.
We already have a black Jesus.
Black
God.
Jesus.
Coconut's got all the electrolytes you need.
But Midian is inspired by a Clive Barker story, Cabal, and the film version Nightbreed. And fucking Danny Filth says, we love Cabal, the Damnation Game, and the Books of Blood, and we liked everything that had Clive Barker Presents on it before people even knew who he was. That gave it an air of mystery. You should know who this is, but you don't. Midian kind of is and isn't a concept album. As a title, it just made perfect sense. The central song, Tortured Soul Asylum, is about Midian, and the characters in the rest of the album made up a sort of collective from this mythical place where the monsters live.
Oh, you gotta play some of the music, right?
And I'll get to that in a second. In the Bible, the Midianites are an Arab tribe descended from Abraham, and Midian itself is where Moses spent his 40-year exile from Egypt. The biblical Midianites take their name from Midian, a son of Abraham, and one of his concubines. Today, the former territory of Midian is found in small portions of western Saudi Arabia, southern Jordan, southern Israel, and Sinai. Or Sinai, however you want to say that. The people of Midian are also mentioned extensively in the Quran, where the name appears in Arabic as Madian. The Midian of Cabal and Nightbreed is a hidden city offering shelter for monsters away from humanity. And then the song Cthulhu Dawn also obviously invokes the character from the horror written by H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu mythos. And then the opening line of Lord Abortion, Care for a Little Necrophilia, is a quote from Terry Gilliam's film Brazil. And you gotta love Terry Gilliam, man. Fucking one of the Monty Python guys. Fucking... Is that one of the Monty Python guys? I gotta look that up really quick. Because I'm pretty sure he is. Because he's made some of the coolest fucking movies.
Well, yeah, because you gotta think, also, Danny Filth, they're British. Mm-hmm. So, you know, they grew up on Monty Python, the Flying Circus. And the Monty Python, as funny as it was actually really dark. Because they did some dark crap.
He made 12 Monkeys, The Adventures of Baron Munchausen.
Oh, 12 Monkeys. That's a hard movie to watch.
Yeah, he was a member of Monty Python. So that's crazy, dude. The guy from Monty Python made 12 Monkeys. Like, that's crazy. He's finally...
Well, now when you think about it, now, because after I've seen it a few times, now it makes sense.
Yeah,
that movie is completely just crazy.
Yeah, Terry Gilliam, all his movies are fucking weird, man.
Especially that ending when it was him as a kid who saw himself
that was great,
shoot
dude.
That guy, but he didn't make it.
Yeah, it was him who was the guy. Virus. I loved that ending. But yeah, so Midian, dude. Midian, to me, starts the classic kind of Cradle of Filth sound. And it has to me, it has the best orchestral opening. Like, this shit gets epic.
At Gates of Midian?
Yeah, At the Gates of Midian is like epic as shit.
Yeah, that song, if you read the lyrics, they got lyrics in the book. There's some crazy lyrics in this album.
Like, that shit is just awesome. And then when it rolls into...
Yeah, if you get a player that doesn't skip between it,
yeah, sadly
it's
this
so
does.
Perfect. Yeah, mine does too. It sucks, but it's so perfect. When
it rolls in.
That drum beat rolls in.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
Perfect.
This starts that classic Cradle of Filth sound of the real heavy fucking metal, the blast beats out there, the
banshee
fucking
screaming.
Yeah, like all of that was prominent in the first several albums. But this one, to me, sort of perfected it all.
Yeah, it put it all together.
Yeah.
Because the other ones was, you had one that was more the singing and the guitars, less atmosphere, and one that was more atmosphere. This one put them both together.
And it fucking works perfectly.
And they used an actual symphony when they did this one.
No.
They didn't?
No, they
Which
only
one did it?
Damnation in
Yeah,
the
they
Day.
had a music video that was heavily rotated on MTV too.
Mm-hmm. Like, this album, dude.
Yeah, Her Ghost in the Fog.
Yeah, Her Ghost in the Fog is a fucking awesome song.
Yep.
Let me find that really quick. That's a classic Cradle song, too.
Oh, yeah.
And if you'll... fun fact, the song Swan Song for a Raven on Nymphetamine is a sequel song to Her Ghost in the Fog.
I think my favorite song in this whole thing is Tearing the Veil from Grace.
And that song is on Brutal Legend.
Oh, yeah. It was one I unlocked. But what was weird was, back when I was listening to Nymphetamine, because the song Swan Song for a Raven ends with a variation of the ending piano movement in Her Ghost in the Fog. And I'm like, what the fuck? They're rehashing the same thing from Her Ghost in the Fog. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, don't they remember that they fucking did this before? But then I find out it's an actual sequel song, and I'm like, okay, now it makes sense. But then also, this album has, like, you gotta love Creatures That Kissed in Cold Mirrors, the other instrumental, which isn't as epic as At the Gates of Midian, but it kind of just fucking, it just sounds good. It's a good intermission to the album.
Yeah, it was really hard about this, the book when I first got it, because it is in no way in kind of any order.
Yeah.
It's like all over the place.
But then this album also has probably my favorite Cradle of Filth short track, Satanic Mantra. You gotta love this.
Archangel, dark angel, lend me thy light. Through death's veil till we have heaven in sight.
Now I remember back when I had the burned copy from you, Josh, I was playing that. And you know, our mom was cool about a lot of shit.
she didn't like that one, did
But
she?
she didn't care if we smoked weed, she didn't care what we watched, but sometimes she would say something stupid like, you can't have the Exorcist trilogy on DVD because a demon will attach itself to it. Like, really? There are millions of copies of The Exorcist, but a demon will attach itself to the one copy we buy? Well, I was playing this song and Mom's all like, Travis, that song is bad. They're conjuring demons in that song. I'm like, really, man? Really?
I'm sorry.
When you're the one who fucking read my cards when I was like 8, you were reading tarot cards and shit. Like, really? This, what? Where do you draw the line, woman?
It's like, wow, but they were invoking demons in English? I figured it had to be like Hebrew or Latin, but you know, that little something more modern like English.
I mean, really, man. But, yeah, so any thoughts on Midian, Josh?
Perfect. Gives me a joygasm every time I listen to it.
Yeah, it is. It is that perfect kind of Cradle of Filth
It's
album.
from front to back. That is not one song. When I listen to it, I have to listen to it the whole album from front to finish.
Yeah, it's just, to me, it's a masterpiece. It's probably their magnum opus. I mean, really. What the fuck, man?
Your phone does not like you.
Sorry, didn't...
Fuck you. I'm not trying to fucking speak shit.
Speaking spell.
So what do you think about Midian, Zach?
Cool.
So after Midian...
There's actually a plethora of just live and EP. It was actually a long time before they actually came out with an actual album after that.
Yeah, it was a good 3 years. 2002 gave us Live Bait for the Dead, and then we also had...
Damnation Day.
Yeah, so the next one is Damnation and a Day, which is the first and only one to use a full orchestra. And it is beautiful. This album is kind of a concept album, again, where it's all about the poem Paradise Lost. And I just fucking love this album, dude. Like, to me, was my last favorite Cradle album for a long time. And we'll get into why when we talk about the next 2 albums. But this shit, man, this album has a lot of atmosphere and just a lot of... It sounds nothing like Midian. But the orchestra, listen to this shit. Yeah, dude.
This 9 Rings of Hell. Oh, 7 rings. 7 circles of hell.
I mean, that shit sounds like old Universal horror movie shit to me, man. Like fucking Dracula, The Mummy. But then I love this.
The earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep.
And then it goes into fucking A Promise of Forever, Fantasia Down.
I forget what that was from.
This album, to me, when I bought it, I fucking loved every ounce of it. I was like, this shit is awesome. Fucking, there is just so many good things I can say about this album. It has a 40-piece Budapest Film Orchestra and a 32-piece Budapest Film Choir. And, yeah, it's partly based on John Milton's epic poem, Paradise Lost. But this fucking album, dude, Like, some of my favorite tracks are like Doberman Pharaoh. God damn it, here it goes again with that shit.
His phone is haunting him.
My phone is haunted.
Being possessed
It's a
by a devil.
monster
He
mash.
actually summoned a demon with his satanic mantra, and now his phone is possessed.
It's the Monster Mash. It was a graveyard smash. Yeah, track 11.
His name is Daniel Lloyd Davy.
See, I love
Yeah,
that.
Davey. I remember that. I forgot about that.
Sounds like video game sound effects going on in the background. This be the damnation in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then here's another awesome orchestral piece. But like, to me, this album probably has the best orchestral pieces. And it's mostly because it's a real orchestra. Like, I wish Cradle of Filth would have kept with this, because as far as their orchestral pieces, they've never sounded this good again. They've sounded good, but not as pristine as this. And Damnation in a Day, man, like, this fucking...
They do a Mr. Crowley cover.
Yes, they do. That'll be coming up soon.
Master Crowley.
It's just Mr. It actually starts off lower. Mr.
Crowley. Master Crowley. Dun 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 dun.
Of course, it's not in his version, because he doesn't have that version.
Mr. Crowley. Dun dun dun.
I have the copy that has the...
Love some Ozzy Osbourne. Fun fact about Black Sabbath, when they were first really big back in the day, you know, people thought they were all satanic and shit. And apparently some, like, devil worshiper people came up to their fucking little house or whatever the fuck with their robes on, and they were holding all these lit candles. And fucking once Ozzy and everybody opened the door and they saw them, they were just like, they saw the candles, so they sang Happy Birthday and blew all the candles out and shut the door.
Hell no.
And then there's another moment where, like, Ozzy is so fucked up with stress and drugs and alcohol at this point. He's like stressing out about something, and they had this chicken farm, and like they were telling him something that was pissing him off or something, and he kind of quit listening to them, grabbed a fucking gun, and just started shooting chickens. Oh yeah, dude, you gotta love Ozzy, man. But yeah, Damnation Today, Josh, give me some thoughts there.
It's okay. It wasn't one of my favorites because I was more of the Midian fan. Still a good album, very good album for atmospheric wise. Plus, it's a good story. I love Paradise Lost.
Yeah, I love anything that has to do with fallen angels and shit, and Lucifer, and like I said, I like it when they get biblical. I mean, when they
biblical with it.
When they get biblical with it. When they touch upon shit like that, I mean, it's cool to sing about Elizabeth Bathory, but to me that's obvious goth, you know what I mean? And with Midian, I love that because it's about the biblical Midianites and shit. And then on here, it's about the epic poem, fucking Paradise Lost, and the fall of Lucifer. But then, you know who else did a Paradise Lost album? Danzig.
Yeah.
And I have that one, and it's just like a 30-minute long fake orchestra instrumental album, and it's fucking really cool. Like, it sounds nothing like normal Danzig at all, but it's fucking cool, man. It's the Black Aria, and that's a cool fucking album. But yeah, what do you think about Damnation, Zach? Yeah.
He gets a thumbs up. He approves.
He approves. And after this, alright, we get Amphetamine.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me some thoughts on Amphetamine before I go on my tangent, Josh.
Well, so you got you gotta listen to it more. You gotta understand it, because you have to take it from the fact that when they went to a different record label, they went to Roadrunner Records. They left Abracadabra and Nuclear Blast and went. Well, actually, I think they were always Abracadabra. They go to Nuclear Blast, but they're at Roadrunner, which they wanted to make a more American version of their music, because a lot of people couldn't follow their music. They wanted to make it more MTV friendly. But
it has a kind of friendly cover.
Yeah, it's not one of their best album covers either.
But I mean, it's.
And it came out like a year later.
Yeah, it came out a year later. Like,
I mean, well, it's really not even a long album. It really isn't.
It is a long album. It's 75 minutes.
Well, I mean, because if you get everything, but see, they do the Nymphetamine song 3 or 4 times on it.
Twice.
Well, I mean, if you got the full,
if you have the special edition,
I had the second disc.
That's a bonus disc, but that doesn't. You wouldn't count those songs.
But I mean, I liked a lot. Most of the songs, like I love "Gilded Cunt."
Yeah, Gilded Cunt.
That's just great, because they're making fun of a gold digger.
Yeah.
And Nemesis, Medusa, Hemlock, Coffin Fodder, English Fire, Filthy Little Secret. A Swan Song for a Raven's pretty good, because one atmospheric.
Swan Song
is great. Metal, more atmospheric.
It has a fantastic piano, and I'll play that in a moment.
And of course, I love the second because I love the second disc, because you get Devil Woman. That is a great fucking song. I love that song. That's awesome. Soft White Throat, Bestial Lust, Prey. The Jezebel Diva mix of Nymphetamine, which is the best version, I think. And Mr. Crowley.
Sweet.
Cover of Mr. Crowley.
Okay, now I'm gonna start. When I first bought Nymphetamine...
Bestial Lust is a cover, and Devil Woman is a cover.
Yeah, the second disc was their covers, but they're good covers.
When I first bought Nymphetamine, I didn't like it. And actually, I didn't like it at all, and for the longest time, because... And here's why I didn't like it. Was number one... It was barely a year after Damnation in a Day, and like you said, it was more Americanized. They lost the real orchestra, and it wasn't a concept album. It was just a bunch of random songs. I don't know, to me...
they don't feel like there's no flow inside it.
Yeah, like it doesn't really flow together right. It just, I don't know. And
I liked it on the set, the fact it was just good music.
Yeah.
But as far as the way that most of their albums go, it's not the same. It's completely different from everything, and that's understandable. That's the reason why I agreed with you when it wasn't that good as far as compared to other things.
Yeah.
Standalone is alright.
With all of that said, when I was getting ready for this podcast, I listened to Cradle of Filth on my route for 2 weeks, and I wound up listening to Nymphetamine a lot. I actually really like Nymphetamine.
It grows on you.
Yeah,
That's what happened to me.
It really did. 10 years later.
It took you a little longer than me. It took me a year, because I'd only listen like 2 or 3 songs. I was like, eh. And then I started, let me play it through, and I'll force myself to listen to it. And there'd be parts of some songs like, oh, this sucks. And all of a sudden it hits some really badass. Like, okay, it's like, all right, rocks, all right.
That's a good way to say it. Some parts of the song suck, and then some parts are really good.
Pick right back up.
Like
the one after this was actually shorter.
Oh, we'll get into that one. But the orchestral opening to this one is really good. It's almost apocalyptic. Like, check this out. Like, that shit's just... That's like Omen-worthy, man.
Yeah. Yeah, Roadrunner had to change their style up from all the Slipknot and everything. They needed something different. So they bring in a British black metal band.
Didn't they have Nickelback?
Yeah.
Yes. And then...
That is the most random fucking band to be with Roadrunner Records. That's why they lost all respect.
Swan Song for a Raven has the most awesome piano. Yeah.
That all Christmas.
It does kind of sound like fucking Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
It kind of does.
It sounds like a Christmas song.
And like this album really grew on me. Like, I hated it when I first heard it, but now I really dig it. I don't like it as much as any of the others, but to me it is much better than the next album.
Have you heard any of the second disc stuff, like Devil Woman or Mr. Crowley?
No.
You want to play it? I have it on. I actually have these on my phone. These are
Yeah, let me hear Mr. Crowley.
Mr. Crowley. That's funny.
Pretty tight. So the next album.
Yeah, that's Thornography.
Yes, and to this day,
You still don't like it?
I still don't like it.
Yeah, this one is even more feeling of Americanized.
Yes, this is Cradle of Filth, Americanized to the utmost stuff.
I do like the song Temptation, though. That's kind of cool.
Like,
Nth Degree.
it is just, there are things I do like. I really like Rise of the Pentagram, especially the, because isn't that the guy who played Pinhead doing that? Yeah, Doug Bradley. Because Doug Bradley did narration on Midian and Amphetamine, and he's the guy who plays Pinhead, and I love his fucking voice, man.
I'll listen to the whole album, no problem. The ones I actually like, I like Libertine or Grimm.
Yeah,
that one's pretty good because of the story in it.
But then, like, Thornography is the weakest of the weak to me. It is such a cheap fucking Cradle album, and it has its moments, man. But for the most part, I rarely turn it on. Like, when I was playing Amphetamine and really getting into it here recently, I was hoping to really get into Thornography, but it still doesn't fucking do it for me. It just, I don't know, man. It's just fucking weak. But, like, Rise of the Pentagram is great. Like, I love Doug Bradley.
Like a shadow I flew through the rain that fell sick with lament to this house of incest. For when we undressed, blasphemies against Venus were rent. The vicissitudes grew, the rise of the true pentagram.
And it's
That is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That
And
is
it's-
fucking epic.
And it's just a rockin' fucking 7-minute long
Or
instrumental track.
song. It even starts sounding kind of Mexican with the horn.
Yeah. Like, this is like the best song on here to me. But Thornography, especially back when Amphetamine first came out and then Thornography, I kind of lost interest in Cradle of Filth. I was like, man, I hope they don't keep going this route. And thankfully,
It improved.
thankfully, they sort of give us a nice return to form.
Yeah.
But Godspeed and the Devil's Thunder, and this one goes more back to the European style. And
Isn't this one supposed to be like Grimm's fairy tales?
no, this one is based on a true story, and to me, it's probably my favorite
I never
concept.
really listened to Godspeed that
Oh
much.
my God, Godspeed! It brought my faith in Cradle of Filth back,
Is
dude.
this the album cover you were staring at?
Yeah,
That
this
one
is
with
the
the
fucking
cute
album
faces.
cover that freaked me out when I was on that Salvia. And
I'm sorry about giving you salvia, Travis. That's my fault.
and
Let's
But,
put some salvia and weed together to see what we get.
basically the concept on this album is about, alright, everybody knows the story of Joan of Arc, but she had a really good friend, a man who loved her named Gilles de Rais, and after they burned her at the stake, like, this dude fought in battles with Joan of Arc, side by side. Like, this guy, he was one of those Christian fucking dudes, you know? And after fucking she burned, he went crazy and started kidnapping children, raping them, and fucking murdering them in his fucking house. And, like, this is
Satanic serial killer.
some of the darkest shit.
Aristocratic playboy.
This is some of the darkest shit Cradle of Filth has really sang about in a long time. And I loved every minute of it. I was like, this album, it kind of goes back to with the style of the orchestras. It has that Full Moon production sound again.
Shout Out of Hell.
Yeah, Shout Out
Shout
Hell
Out
is
of Hell.
great, dude.
That's a great title. I love it. Shit.
Like this right here. it brings me back to fucking Cruelty and the Beast and Midian. And it has Doug Bradley again, and Doug Bradley does some of his best narration ever because he plays the character of Gilles de Rais, and he says some of the coolest shit. But like, let me see, Tophagus is a really good track. Like, listen to this.
God can deny nothing to a delay, and should he ever, there is always the devil.
It just sounds so good, dude, with fucking Doug Bradley on there, man. Fucking saying his shit. Probably my favorite song on here, because I love every song, but the song Honey and Sulfur gets so biblical. Like, check this out.
So potent was the star under which I was born, for I have done what no one in the world has done.
Evil Tillian.
I love this shit.
Now see, they did a fucking...
Check this.
Oh, damn, I gotta go download this. This is fucking epic.
Like, dude, that is just the greatest Cradle of Filth song intro ever. And I mean, just, oh my god. And then there's one track where Doug Bradley, he's like talking about the things he did to the kids. I'm trying to find that one right now. Because he's like,
Just say Pinhead.
yeah, Pinhead.
Travis Fields.
Sometimes
Here we go.
daggers with poniards with knives. Sometimes I suspended them in my room from a pole or by a hook and cords and strangled them. And when they were languishing, I committed with them the evils of the flesh.
It's so fucked up. But he sounds so casual. He sounds so casual when he's saying that, dude. He's like, I love that shit. Sometimes I beheaded them. I mean, I love that shit. Oh my god, dude. This is really, it renewed my faith in this fucking band. I was like, Cradle of Filth are fucking back, and I'm fucking happy. This is one that I turn on as much as Midian or Cruelty and the Beast. I'm like, this is the best Cradle of Filth have sounded since Midian. Even though I love Damnation in a Day,
That's what helps.
this one really takes the Midian and Cruelty sound and fucking amplifies that shit. It's what I was hoping Amphetamine and Thornography would be. It's like we had like what, a 5-year break in between like really good Cradle shit. They kind of released 2 mediocre albums and then give us this fucking masterpiece, dude.
No, one decent and one terrible.
Yeah. One's decent.
2 mediocre says that Amphetamine was bad as... No, Amphetamine was
it
far
is,
better.
To me, it is mediocre, though. It is.
It's
It's
not
good.
as bad as Pornography.
Yeah, I'd say, okay, 1 mediocre and 1 shitty album. Because, God, I fucking can't stand Thornography. So, yeah, 1 decent, mediocre kind of album. One that I can turn on when I feel like it. Like, if I'm on a Cradle binge, I'll turn Amphetamine on after I listen to Cruelty, Midian, and Godspeed.
I usually go to Midian first.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, this
So-
album's pretty fucking epic.
Yeah, dude, it's the best.
Oh, and you'd like to know, Dave plays a 5-string bass. Their bassist.
And
That's
so
how they get
after,
that nice bass, that really deep growl bass.
after the greatness,
Peebus.
after the greatness that was,
Godspeed.
yeah, Godspeed on the Devil's Thunder,
It's gonna be...
we have Darkly, Darkly, Venus of Versa. And they call it the female companion album to Godspeed, whereas Godspeed is a more
masculine.
yeah, masculine kind of concept. This one takes a more feminine route, and it's about the Lilith, who was apparently the first woman that God created before they cast her out of Eden, and
She was the fun chick.
yeah, it created
She
Eve.
did everything.
Yes. And what's really cool about the story of Lilith is back in the early days, you know, babies, basically they would have SIDS, but people in the olden times didn't know what the fuck that was, so they all thought that Lilith was taking their babies while they were sleeping, fucking taking their souls. So the term lullaby is derived from Lilith. Basically, they would sing a lullaby to their babies to basically say Lilith bye, goodbye Lilith, and it ultimately turned into lullaby. And so that's kind of some cool fun fact bullshit.
Of course, putting a child in a manger inside of a tree and watch it fall is gonna be great for baby. What kind of fucking lullabies is that?
But what's cool about Darkly Darkly Venus Aversa is
Nuclear Blast.
They're on Nuclear Blast, which is a great metal record label.
Black metal.
And because I want to say my Therion albums are on Nuclear Blast.
I think Therion is. I know Dimmu Borgir is.
Mm-hmm.
That's an extremely black metal album. That's like pure. That's satanic metal.
Yeah.
They got quite a few. I think Children of Bottom and there are quite a few bands that are on Nuclear Blast. They're pretty.
Yeah.
It's like a really good metal, black metal.
And so what's really cool
This
about
a very comfortable chair to be playing video games in.
No, it's not.
But what's really cool about Darkly Darkly Venus Aversa is there's no short instrumental orchestral tracks. They kind of merge the orchestral tracks as in intros into the songs. And like this shit is so cool. I love that piano.
See, that just sounds like we're about to start watching Interview with a Vampire.
Yeah, dude.
Like Louis about to, Louis about to pop up.
Yeah, dude.
I am she, Lilith, mistress of the dark, of Shiva.
Like, and with this woman speaking, it really fucking reminds me of Cruelty and the Beast. And then probably my favorite fucking song on here is Lilith Immaculate. And that's because they touch on happy musical notes that I've never heard Cradle of Filth fucking play before, and it sounds good.
It's a threequel. It's the happy ending to the Ghost in the Fog. Yeah, he's got a new woman.
Like, when it touches those happy notes there, I was like, that is the most different shit I've ever heard Cradle of Filth fucking do. And I really embraced it. I was like, that shit sounds good. That fucking happy orchestral notes and his verse and then her verse. Like, this is a great fucking album, man. And like, I have nothing but good things to say about this one too. But who does the narration? That's what I can't find here.
Oh, you mean what chick?
Yeah.
Actually, it just might be the singer that's actually playing with them.
Because it's making me wonder. But yeah, the keyboardist who plays on here, Ashley Elian, she actually follows me on Instagram.
Nice.
Yeah, she started following me after I posted all the Cradle of Filth albums. But yeah, Danny Filth says there's a bit of Victoriana in there. Essentially, at heart, it's a nice gothic horror story.
It might be Lucy Atkins.
And it's a fucking great... And he said he wanted to make it creepy, melodic like Merciful Fate or Iron Maiden. And I can kind of hear that in there. And some guy from Metal Hammer said that it's kind of close to King Diamond. And I can kind of hear that too. I mean, it's essentially a fucking awesome Cradle of Filth album. And...
It's Lucy Atkins. Is that chick?
Lucy Atkins, okay.
She's the only other singer in there, so it's got to be her doing the singing. Just some... It was actually... She's not part of the band. It was just they hired her. They probably just hired a singer.
Yeah, she's fucking great on this album, man. And, but sadly, it's the last Cradle of Filth album that I have been able to pick up.
Yeah, because
one after this, Manticore and Other Stories, I haven't been able to pick up yet, and I have no idea what it sounds like.
It's definitely it's a more of a continuation of this feminine style, that very heavy kind of. I'm trying to think of a good descriptive word for it. It's just like Venus.
Really?
It feels just like it's good.
Do you have some of that on your phone?
Actually, some of my albums got screwed up and it automatically deletes if they screw up and I have to re-download it. And I don't have it, but I do have the newest one, Total Fucking Darkness, on my phone.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. Like, this one is the band's first album as a 3-man group rather than its 6-man staple. Yep. So that really makes me wonder, how the fuck does this sound if it's just a 3-member band now? When you
the one that came out in 012?
Yeah, is this 012?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you haven't heard any of that yet?
Extended Claws. So I've heard it, but it's pretty good. It's
and
one
it's
of those
not
things,
a concept album, so I'm not necessarily iffy about it. I just really want to know what this sounds like.
It's one of those ones that you probably have to listen to a few times to start to like it. Because I listened to it, I was like, I would probably like it more if I listened to it, but I never got around to listening to it more because it just screwed up and I never re-downloaded it. Plus, the album cover is fucking awesome. It's like this, like, bondage S&M demon chick on the angel on the front. It's kind of cool looking.
It has a very Egyptian feel to it.
And then the unveiling of I just like, ooh, orgasm song. Awesome. I don't know.
But yeah, okay. And so after this, we'll touch on this for a moment. It's not technically a new Cradle of Filth studio album. It's basically just a re-release of their original demo album, Total Fucking Darkness. And it's one that I want to hear badly because that album will probably be the closest to true black metal Cradle of Filth will ever get. And sadly, it's nothing new, but it feels new, and it's new to me because I've never heard any of it, but this is fucking pre-Principle of Evil Made Flesh fucking Cradle right here, and you got some of that on there? Or?
Got the whole album if you want to.
Yeah, play a track or two.
Don't really know what track. I'm gonna pick one. All albums. I'm gonna start with Fucking Darkness. Spattered in Feces.
Yeah. Yeah.
No understand what the fuck they're saying in this one.
Yeah.
They have to get the albums and get the lyric book.
So that was the Cradle of Filth retrospective for Halloween. We've got four more. We've got 4 more to go. And fucking A, dude.
No fucking in the A.
Like, let me
Unless
see.
she says okay. It's not spooky when you go sit like that. Spooky wolf.
But yeah, so if you guys want to find us on the internet, you can check us out on Twitter at Twitter/MonsterFTStudio. You can also check out our Instagram for behind-the-scene photos at Instagram/BloodyChuckleStudios. Go listen to our music, man, at ReverbNation.com/MonsterFTStudio and SoundCloud.com/BloodyChuckleStudios. You can also check us out as well as many other awesome internet reviewers on rtgomer.com, and we will see you guys next time.
Willie boy, I used to see, I used to walk with my Willie boy hanging out. He'd swing left, he'd swing right, tap my thighs.